What's going on, guys? I got another versus challenge. I'm going to be using the rubber steel balls from Beeman. Small bore, 12.25 millimeters, 12.28 millimeters. They kind of vary a little bit. They are smaller than the Alien Play aluminum balls. These are 12.5 millimeters. These are roughly 12.3. You can kind of round down to 12.25. Or I should say round up to 12.3, but they're small. I have them in here, and I have them. This is the T4E HDP50 Gen 2 13 joule version. The restrictor is in the handle. I have Crossman CO2s in both of these, and I just want to get some just general chrono readings. It's a little bit warmer today. It's not like cold outside anymore. So 25 degrees Celsius, 76 Fahrenheit. That one's almost 80. This was in my car. 77 on the Crossman CO2s, 78-ish, 26 Celsius. So that's the temperature of it out here. It's very dependent. The power of these is very dependent on the outside temperature. So using these, this has 8, this has 6. That's what they hold. This is the Beeman BP50. These are both about $100. These launchers, they're both about $100. So these are like the budget-friendly kind of launchers. This is stock. I have dyed it, but there's nothing internally done with that. I've had a couple issues with it past couple days, but I think it's working better now. And this is stock also. Obviously, I dyed it. It used to be orange, and then I have a new detent in here, which holds the balls in the barrel, keeps them from falling out. This is kind of a large barrel as far as like this exit hole, or this barrel itself. It's probably 12.8 or 12.9 millimeters across. I can easily shoot 12.7 millimeters ammo through there, like steel balls, slingshot ammo. I can use it in this, but it's a very tight fit. I've worked in my Beeman a lot, so I've shot 600 shots, or sorry, about 700 or 800 shots through this at this point. This has gone through about maybe 800 shots. And this first gen detent, or not first gen, this Gen 2 detent was very good. It lasted a good long while. But anyways, I'm going to shoot these, stop talking, 2.9 gram balls. These are what these weigh. So I'll start with the HDP50 because I've been starting with this one. Hopefully everything works good. If I get some weird shit going on, I'll use this and that CO2 tank. So I'll be right back. Alright, first up, the trusty HDP50. Like I said, this is all stock, nothing done to it. It is not pressurized right now. So I'm going to pressurize it. I switched out the CO2 with one of the ones I had on the table to make this more fair, because this was in my car and it's warm today. So pressurizing, it's pressurized now, and the Beeman 2.9 gram rubber steel balls are in here. You can see them right there. So I hope it'll hit higher than 330 feet per second, because that's what everything else has been doing, but we'll see what it does. 300. These are not lubed up. I just wanted to try them dry. Obviously I'm going to try doing this again a different day with oil on the balls. 294. So this is very underbore. 286. These balls are very small for this barrel, so that's probably why it's not doing that well. 284. Because with a heavier ball, or with a larger ball, like the aluminum balls, those are larger and they weigh a little bit less, but they go a lot faster than this, like maybe 320 to 340 feet per second. 280. But since these balls are so small, they're just letting a lot of blow by down the barrel, so I would not recommend. I mean, if you live in a really strict state like me, California, I mean, obviously you probably want to use these outside of the house over metal aluminum stuff, but you know, if you're at home, you can do whatever you want. So I'm just showing you guys what these do with these ammos, I'm not trying to say either one's better or worse. I'm just showing you what they do. And that's all my channel is, really. It's just showing you how they perform. Every once in a while I'll have opinions on stuff, but you know, obviously when things break or whatever, it's not good. But this has its own issues. A couple times I've had this leaking. My magazine's broken. I got a new magazine finally because people have them now, but this is not pressurized. It has not been sitting on the table pressurized. 1 second. All right, I couldn't get my thing off, but actually don't have CO2 in there, so I'll be right back. All right, I couldn't get my pierce cap to unscrew, but now it's unscrewed, and I'm gonna pressure this. I'm gonna bump it against my knee. So I got that leak kind of right now, so these might not be that great because it had that weird leak. 332. So yeah, I feel like I'm gonna have to take apart this Beeman and see what it's doing on the inside. I think one of my O-rings is probably worn out since I've shot it so much. 316. So this is, you know, it's a bit better than the HDP50 right now, but I'm gonna try it on the CO2 tank just to get a better general idea of what these balls can do. 298. I think that was 8 shots. Yeah, that was 8 shots. So I'll use the aluminum balls just to compare them so you guys can see. Same CO2s that are being both of these. 8 shots have been taken out of this, 6 shots have been taken out of that, and I will use that afterwards just to compare it. Alright, you guys, I got these with the aluminum balls in them. 2.7 grams, 12.5 millimeters on the diameter, outside diameter. And you know, obviously this one's been sitting a little bit, this has been sitting a little bit. Same CO2 cartridge, same CO2 cartridge. So let's see what this does. HDP50 is first. 334. So this weighs more, this weighs less, and it's a bigger ball. So that's immediately that looks like a better Joule rating. 324. Better Joule rating than those rubber steel balls from Beeman, just because this barrel is large. 314. 302. 300. 292. And I think that is all. Yep, that one's out. So next up is the Beeman. Like I said, it's been sitting on the table for a minute or two now, and here is the Beeman. Same CO2 cart, 8 shots, aluminum balls, same ammo. 362. 350. 338. 328. 316. 302. I think I got 2 more shots. 290. 268. The Beeman has 8 shot capacity. The HDP has 6 shot capacity. So yeah, Beeman's done, has a little tiny air leak, which I think it's one of the O-rings on the inside. I think it's the one that goes around the around the bolt, the firing bolt, possibly. But like I said, I've shot it like close to 900 times. I feel at least I've shot it at least 750 shots through my Beeman. This has 6 shot capacity, so this is only shot 12 times. I'm going to shoot it one more time with the aluminum, so I'll be right back. Alright, HDP50. Aluminum balls, 2.7 grams. 302. This is the 3rd magazine on the same CO2 cartridge. 274. 252. This is pretty much dead, so 3 more shots. Add a shot. So I'm gonna hook up the CO2 tank, and I'll I'll shoot both of these. I'll use the rubber steel balls, and then I'll use the aluminum balls. I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, so to use an airline on your Beeman, or if you want to just stick a tank straight on to here of your HDP or your Beeman, you cannot just, do this and turn it. It'll strip this, it'll screw it up. So what you need is an MCS tank adapter, and this goes from this thread on the handles. These are both the same thread on the handles, so these pierce caps, they have the same thread pattern. You can use this in here, but you need a nylon spacer to fit down there first, and then your CO2, and then you can put the Gen 2 Umarex cap on there. Threads are fine, they match, but this is tank threads right here, so that's what that is. So I have this airline and a backpack, so I just throw the tank in the backpack, use the airline to have the air pressure going into this. This one will work fine on the Umarex stuff. This one will work good on your, if you have a Pistal X68, it'll work on that, and it'll work on the Beeman. The reason I don't use the MCS adapter on the Beeman is because it gets in the way of the magazine exit. So here's the Labco one, right? It's in there, and I can pop this mag out easy, no issues, right? So this is the MCS one, and it has like a extra like a ridge line on the bottom, and what that does is it gets in the way of the magazine release, so you can't eject it. I mean, if you want to, you'd have to push this in, pop that out, pull it out. It's just a pain in the ass. So the Labco one works on all the T4E stuff, and it works on all the well, it kind of works on this, but you have to take this off, take this out, reload, put this back, put your lap. It's a pain in the ass. So just save yourself the hassle. Get one of these if you have a Beeman and you want to keep shooting without using a crap ton of these CO2s. So I'll be right back. So the tank is about 76 degrees Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius. It's getting a little bit cooler out here. This is a higher temperature than the previous videos I've shot at though, so I'm gonna get this rolling before it gets too cold. Alright, you guys, the CO2 tank is about 60 to 70% full. I haven't weighed it, but I know it's over half. 75 degrees or so is the temperature of the tank. It's a CO2 tank, it's not an HPA tank, and the temperature is very important. So I got the HDP50 with the 2.9 gram small bore rubber steel balls from Beeman, and I got the airline on it, so these shots should be consistent. And obviously this can be harder if I took the CO2 restrictor out of the handle, but in this video I'm just trying it with the restrictor in the handle. 296, 300, 302, 304, 306. I believe that's it. Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to put the aluminum balls. Alright, aluminum balls are in the HDP50, 2.7 grams, larger bore, like 12.5 millimeter balls. So this should be better. Joule rating 310, 320, 316, 314, 312. I got one more shot, I'm pretty sure. 314. So that's it for the HDP50. Like I said earlier, if I used an HPA tank and I took this restrictor thing out the handle, this will hit anywhere from 20 to 28 joules constantly on one of these airlines, or if you had the air tank just attached to the handle. This is a stock firing pin, stock everything in this. I haven't done any upgrade parts. This is the normal barrel. Yeah, so I'll be right back. Alright you guys, Beeman, I got the rubber steel balls in here, and it's pressurized on the air tank, or the CO2 tank I should say. HPA does not work good in the Beeman. It has a restrictor in the handle that you cannot take out, and don't mess with it because you'll probably end up messing yours up. So rubber steel balls, 2.9 grams, small bore. The Beeman has a small barrel, but I feel like because they're rubber, they're not working that great. 352, that was a lot better. That's still like 16.5 joules though, maybe 17 max. 352, 352, 344, 344, 340, 344. I think I got one more shot. 344. I'm gonna put the aluminum balls. All right, the Alien Play aluminum balls are in the Beeman. So usually they'll get 370 to 400 feet per second. I'll see what it does. This has been pressurized for maybe 30 seconds. 372, 364, 362, 362, 360, 360, 358. I feel like the CO2 tank is getting cold. 356. Uh-oh. Something was going on in here. So luckily I have a slide check on my remote line. So once I heard whatever leak, I just depressurized it with the slide check. So all the pressure's in my air line. But yeah, something's leaking in here. So I will have to tear that apart and look at it, and eventually I'll have a video on what I did or whatever. So anyways, that's what this did, that's what that did, and pretty subpar results with these rubber steel balls. But if you live in a area that is very strict about these types of things, and you want to have these outside, out in the wild, I definitely recommend these. And obviously you're not hitting as hard as the Alien Play ones, so I'll probably but you don't want to, you know, if you live in a strict area, you don't want to be having these out in public. I'll probably try these rubber steel balls from Amazon again. They're kind of a larger bore size, but I've had kind of mixed results with those because the bore variation's too much. These are more tacky than these, but these are harder, and these are a little bit more like squishy, a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. So anyways, this one went a little bit longer than I thought it would, but now I get to have fun and take this apart. So you guys have a good one, and see you next time. Alright guys, I don't know if you hear that. I think it may be the dreaded regulator, or fake regulator. It has these two ball bearings in it, and those ball bearings are, you know, permanently put in there. But I'll take it apart and look at it, but I feel like this thing may be effed, unless I can JB weld it or something random. But I'll see what it does when I take it apart. And it's not anything where the magazine loads, and it's not anything in the CO2 area, because I've already taken these things off and flipped it over, like over this case. Nothing fell out. So this is going to be fun detective work I got to do. So next video I will be Sherlock Holmes and take this thing apart. So see you guys next time.